I'm Spencer.
I'm Anna.
I'm Grace,
I'm Peyton.
and this is our final project on ethical issues.
For this project, we interviewed Mark Fonder. He's the current owner of the Barrel House and Craven, both really good restaurants in Sioux Falls, and he also owns multiple Airbnbs and storage unit properties. And he was previously the owner of 212 and Stubby's. Some of the main issues that Mark brought up to us were employees stealing from him. For example, employees would steal alcohol out the back door, and some employees would even steal money out of the registers. And this was reported by other employees and customers even to Mark. He also brought up some issues regarding sexual harassment and drug use at work. His main dilemma with these was whether or not to fire these people, and trying to get to the bottom of what was really happening.
So the stakeholders involved in Mark's business are consumers, suppliers, employees, vendors, investors, and he actually doesn't have any shareholders for his business.
During our interview with Mark, some of the discussion topics that he had would be to meet with the managers, cooks, employees, discuss what the employee had brought to the table for the business, second chances, and ultimately the final decision on being fired or staying. For example, Jesse is one of his cooks/manager who has been there with him since day one, so he has a very good say in whether or not the employees that were stealing product, money, the sexual harassment would ultimately be staying or going.
All right, now we're going to be talking about Mark Fonder's decisions on ethics. Mark says that he has lots of trust in his managers and likes to really use them as insight in making his decisions, while he ultimately has the final say in these decisions. He said he doesn't spend much time on site, so he hates to make assumptions on incidents that are just hearsay. Before making decisions, he likes to bring managers and the person involved and hear their sides of the story in a meeting. He is a very understanding guy and is very interested in giving second chances. Mark Fonder said that he has had many different cases in his multiple businesses of stealing, and each are handled and dealt with differently, but some result in firing and some are given second chances. Just like in this class, ethics has no right answers. It's all about your judgment and what's best for your business.
After our second interview with Mark Fonder, he has solidified that his ethical decisions and discussions would remain the same regarding the many ethical problems that have crept into his businesses, including the problems of product and money being stolen, as well as sexual harassment. Mark Fonder is a knowledgeable businessman that is strong in his morals, trust, and strong mission statements within the multiple companies he operates. He's a firm believer in hiring individuals that are loyal and well-rounded, which will ultimately make his businesses operate more efficiently and effectively. He hopes that by doing these things, success will come to his businesses through his employees and in himself in the end.
All right, so what's your favorite part about being a business owner?
None. No. No. It's definitely, I think once you start, if you start your own business and set your own hours, and I mean, a lot of them fail within the worst whatever, but once you get through that, it's very
rewarding.
It is. I mean, yeah.
I guess in the last question that we have for you is, what advice would you give to future business owners like us to keeping a business ethical?
I mean, there's no written handbook to it. I mean, you just got to go with your
What's right?
gut and mind, and I mean, there's no, like I said, there's people that, I mean, they'll steal from you. I get hit up for every sponsorship possible, and it's hard to say no. And it's just, I don't know. There's a lot of mixed feelings in it, but you got to do what's right. What you feel, I mean, at the end of the day, You know, I mean, if you own it, you gotta lay your head down on the pillow and,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, I understand some of these people, you wouldn't hear the stories about how their kids in the hospital and they need this much money. And, I mean, you borrow them $1,000, $2,000 and they quit, you know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's hard to separate, you know, work from relationships, friendships, and that. But I mean, it just, you know, basically you got to do whatever you think is right at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like people think lottery is unethical. I mean, they do. I mean, my motto is that they're building more machines right down the road. If they're not going to play here, they're going to go there.
Yeah.
Right.
you
So
got-
it's just you got to decide whether it's, you know,
yeah.
ethical to you or not, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, it's legal. Drinking's legal.
Mm.
Marijuana, not quite. Almost. You know, and one thing I have had along the way is, you know, realtors that aren't out to gouge you. You know, Brad Gullickson sold me all my land. You just got to find people that, you know, want to help you. Everyone makes their money. My insurance agents out there, everyone makes a piece of the pie, but you got to find the people that are loyal. And, you know, the loyal people will realize that instead of making $10,000 off you the first deal, if they make 5 and you do 20 deals, it's better.
It's better than me.
You know,
Yeah.
and that's what I guess I've always tried to do is, you know, I mean, I understand the Palmer's going to charge me and that. Just don't charge me on God.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, building relationships is big.
Awesome. Cool.
Well, that's all we got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much
Appreciate
for
it.
coming.
We just can do a quick picture.